Hey everyone out there in the land of YouTube, this is Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. Today is the last day of November 2021. It is Tuesday. Tomorrow is December. Tomorrow starts the final month of a very, I don't know, we need some descriptive words. A very tumultuous, trying, challenging year. How's that? You can add your own adjectives. Crazy. So you might notice that I was here last night, but I'm back, and I had threatened to come back, so I'm back because we have a lot to talk about. You know, let's try to keep. No, we're not going to try. We're going to keep the energy up. I don't believe in try. No try. Just do or don't do. We're going to keep the energy vibration high. We're going to do everything that we can to lift the energy, but we're going to be activists too, okay? Hear me out. Today I had it up to here with the Boebert BS and the Marjorie Taylor Greens. And so I called Elizabeth Warren's office and I called Seth Moulton's office. I'm in Massachusetts. And I did get to talk to somebody at Seth Moulton's office, and she was sympathetic to the cause. And I was speaking about the need to rally together to say no more of this white supremacist, you know what? That Lauren Boebert, you know what she's doing. She's just she's taking a page out of the 45 playbook. When you've done something heinous like led the January 6th insurrectionists, then you gotta show them, distract them somehow. Well, there's way more to it than that, but it's partly that. Anyway, if we don't speak up as a nation, this will continue. So I spoke with Seth Moulton's assistant and I said, I will do anything that I can to get people together to form some kind of a coalition to say no more of this racism in our government. It's not being stopped by Kevin McCarthy. It's not being stopped by any of the Republicans. It's not being addressed. And when Omar, got on the phone with Boebert, prior to that, I put myself in her shoes and I thought I wouldn't give Boebert the time of day. My rage is up. I gotta bring it down. You know those signs you see at protests sometimes that say if you're not angry, you're not paying attention? I am damn angry, and I admit it. But I'm gonna use it to mobilize people, and I'm gonna use it to tell each and every one of you that if you call your senators and your congressmen, if you call your state reps, if you call your leaders, and you say we need to pull together and form a coalition of people of America that say no more. This is not who we are, and we're taking a stand for human decency. Yeah, so anyway, we have to start somewhere. The speaker of the minority speaker, Mr. McCarthy, I just saw a little clip of him when Stephen King, who was a senator, I believe, not the author, who probably would do a pretty good job actually. The author, he's a cool guy. So Stephen King, when he spewed racist rhetoric, was unseated. When the Republican Party had a shred of decency, that happened. And Kevin McCarthy, there's a clip of him saying, "We will not stand for this. The party of Lincoln will not stand for this." And now he shuts his mouth. And let's be clear, they're not doing anything about it to appease Trump. I said his name. Why? because they're afraid of losing votes, because they think that the majority of the American population is racist and white supremacist and filled with hate. That's what they're banking on. Plus suppressing the vote. We live in interesting times. It's really, really important that we do something. I'm looking for people to rally with me. I know from my activist work, it's a lonely job. And it needs to not be that way anymore, because that's what got us where we are. I was, standing up for the trees earlier in the year for months and months and months. And people would applaud me, and they would come by and they'd go, "We're so glad you're doing this. We're so glad you're standing up for our rights to protect our environment." So, did they join me? Nope. I'm still on it. Anyway. Yeah, I'm on it. I'm still on that. I'm still working on that. To get a bill passed through our senator to save trees. Anyway, that's a different topic. But I'm making the point. I don't think it was the issue that I was standing for as much the actual issue that bothered me. What bothered me more was how many people in our country cannot be inconvenienced. I understand people are busy, but I wasn't asking for that much help, but nobody helped me. Well, one person did. He's the one that helped me to write the bill. Just a resident. Okay, let's get to the news, shall we? I want to share too that this morning I was asking the guides. I said, just flat out, I'm just going to say his name today. I don't know why. Will Trump be indicted? It's interesting that I'm going ahead and saying his name. I'm not sure what's up with the energy of that. And so I checked the pendulum, and the pendulum said that Trump will be indicted December 3rd. And I went, December 3rd? It's I never know what's going to happen too. I always get surprised. Lo and behold, I heard that, I think it's E.J. Carroll, I think is her name, the one with the DNA that proves that he raped her. That's going to trial on, guess what, December 3rd. So we shall see. I'm going to look at some cards about that. He's in hot water. It ran out, the whole extension ran out of him claiming executive privilege. That's done. That's gone. So, my goodness, what do we look at first? Someday I'm going to go live. Someday soon I'm going to go live, and then I can see your questions. Not ready for that just yet. Okay, so, I don't know what to ask about. Let's ask about him. We'll say 45. Let's ask about 45. Is that actually going to happen? Because the guides told me December 3rd. And by the way, Mark Meadows is speaking. And I don't remember exactly which video it was, but it seems to me, I don't know, that rang a bell with me. It seems to me I said that I saw Mark Meadows speaking, because he was like caught between a rock and a hard place and didn't know, he really had no place to turn. Incidentally, I feel the same way about Kevin McCarthy. I said that last night. We're looking at what's going to happen with 45. So, if in fact there's some kind of a hearing, he'll be indicted on December 3rd. This is female power. This is him not being able to negotiate his way out of appearing for that rape case. She has the DNA. There was a time in history, of course, that we didn't have that. We didn't have DNA testing. DNA is like, there's no argument. When they have the DNA, they have the DNA. There's no argument. There's nothing they can do. That is the ultimate defense. And yeah, he can't negotiate his way out of this. He cannot. And the Empress is the female power. I think it's E.J. Carroll. I think that's her name. And this is a sympathetic judge that's sympathetic to the female. Now, keep in mind, I haven't read a thing, so I don't really know. I mean, I haven't read the papers. I haven't read the news about that, the specifics of that. There's so much to keep up with. And I, like you, am busy, but we must find time to keep up with the news. It's quite a job nowadays. And on that note, on a very tragic note, I mentioned a couple days ago that there was a shooting where people got injured, but they weren't, but nobody died, fortunately. But there was a shooting at a mall, and look at me, I'm even forgetting where it was. I think it was in the Midwest somewhere. And the reason I'm saying, look at me, I'm even forgetting where it was, because these shootings are getting lost and forgotten. So let's take a few seconds of silence to send healing to the people in Michigan. Students died. There's a school shooting, and it was a 15-year-old. Thank you, Kyle Rittenhouse, for glorifying violence for teenagers. 10 seconds of silence for the people in Michigan. Thank you. You know, the horror of Columbine, being psychic, when Columbine happened, I was in a fetal position in bed. Could not even stand the horror of it. It was so shocking that these students would go in and shoot up their classmates. 1999, I think. And now it's getting lost in the news of Boebert saying racist. You know, the reason I came on tonight was because I needed to talk. And I feel that we can be in a collective energy of talking about it, even if it's just through the airwaves, telepathically. I mean, the other countries must be looking at us like we're nuts. America's nuts. People like, you know, getting into violent scuffles about a mask, a piece of cloth on your face. Don't wear that piece of cloth on your face. It's going to save lives. Yeah. Accusing Dr. Fauci of being the same as the Nazi who... I can't even talk about it. I can't even talk about it. Look it up. What some of these Republicans were saying about Dr. Fauci is, I mean, if you're Jewish, it was just like, you don't have to be Jewish to be completely shocked, but especially if you're Jewish. So, things will get better if we do something. And the group meditation that we did, I'm going to reach out to Danny and, you know, see if we can do that again. All right. Roe versus Wade, the risk of it being overturned. I haven't looked at this yet in Mississippi. Let's keep in mind, folks, that would be government telling us what we can and cannot do with our own bodies. Well, women, what we can't do, what we can and cannot do with our own bodies. That would be the government saying, you can do this with your body, but you can't do that with your body. Oh, no, you need this procedure. No, you can't. No, you can't. What business is it of theirs what happens with our bodies? And they're getting ready to potentially overturn Roe versus Wade, which has, according to, surveys, about 70% or more of Americans support keeping Roe versus Wade in place. There are so many reasons that we need that in place for when it's needed. So, I haven't looked at what's going to happen with that. I did say to Linda G, when was it? I think it was when we had our show together, or it might have been on the phone. I didn't see Roe versus Wade getting overturned. I'm just saying, I didn't look at it today. That's going to be a big deal, and we all need to be standing by and watching if you can. Checking in and sending vibes there that democracy prevails. Seriously. Seriously. This is a serious day. The last day of November. The guides just said that this is going to be a really big time for January 6th for the commission. Separate topic, but it's all connected in a way. I think Meadows has spilled the beans. That's what I'm hearing. Meadows has spilled the beans. Wow. Like, almost like he said something that's really substantial. Maybe it just slipped out. But we're reading on Roe versus Wade right now. It will remain the law of the land. Take a deep breath. Put your intention out there. The government does not have a right to tell us what we can and cannot do with our own bodies. Right to life. Why are they letting people die from COVID? You know who I'm talking about. I know. I'm getting touchy with my topics, but this is what's going on. And if you don't like this conversation, it's a free country. You don't have to watch. Love you and everything. Princess of Wands and Prince of Swords. Now, I wonder if this is Amy Coney Barrett, who we know is pro-life. We're just going to do this. Amy Coney Barrett, is she going to be for keeping it the law of the land? How could that be? That it's saying yes. Okay, Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh? Wow, that's crazy. There's going to be a lot of demonstrators out there in Mississippi when this is being reviewed by the Supreme Court. And there's the power to the people. Remember, and most of my readings I've been getting the Strength card and the Ace of Cups, which is about, well, the Strength card is meant power to the people. Hey, how do you like my lights? I finally broke down and went Christmas. I've gone Christmas. Purple and pink, why not? Yeah, man, December 1st. All right, so that's Roe versus Wade. I'm getting it's going to stay the law of the land. Okay, next. I have my list. What does this say? I can't even read my right. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. So 45 is now getting his allies to interfere with our voting. He's an ex-president that was illegitimate. When does he go away? That's a good question to ask. When does he go away? When is it just so we won't see him anymore? Soon, please. By the way, I was listening to Mary Trump a little bit. She was being interviewed on some show, and you know, when the question was posed to Mary Trump whether her uncle would run for president again, she put it perfectly, because it's exactly what I'm thinking. It's very concerning. Well, horrifying, I would say. It's horrifying, that's what I'm saying. That we would even allow him. That this country would even allow him after he tried to overthrow our government. And you know, and I was thinking today too, you know that Janet Jackson song from a long time ago, "What have you done for me lately?" That's what I kept thinking. That song kept popping into my head when I thought about 45 and his, you know, like, you know, remember the infrastructure bill? It was always infrastructure bill week, and it was always like, he's going to come up with a better health care plan than Obamacare. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. People aren't paying attention. No, I know you guys are. Not enough people are paying attention, and that's where we want to wake people up. All right, this is a question that I just kind of thought of. When are we going to not see him anymore? I mean, not in the public eye. And we're going months. December, January, February. It's looking like around March, we're not going to see him much anymore. Is he going to prison? What the hell? I have the pendulum. I might as well ask. Is he going to prison? It doesn't want to tell me. It's not prison. It's not prison. That's what it's saying. It's not. Is he going to prison? I'm going to ask again. Is he going to prison? 45. Is he going to prison? Okay. Well, one more time. Is he going to prison? Well, first it seemed very uncertain, and then it said yes. So maybe I have. Is he going to prison in March? I'm just going to say that I don't think that my wishful thinking is interfering, but let's look at the cards. Is he? I just want to know when he'd be out of our faces. Wow, the guides are showing me a bombshell. I don't mean a bomb. I mean, the guides are showing me a bombshell. What the heck? Next week. Where, gosh, it's weird. I just feel like somebody's going to completely out him, and this is my jail card. I'm so confused. Yeah, and this is, I just feel like somebody's going to drop the bomb in the sense that it's going to be just, oh my gosh. Well, there's so much evidence anyway. I mean, the fact that he didn't stop the insurrection when it was going on, even though everyone was begging and pleading for him to stop it, because he did start it. There's something really huge that's going to come out that 45 did. That's just going to be like, it was all him. Like it started with him. He got coerced into it by Bannon and maybe Roger Stone. I dropped a card. But it's a very sad time for our country. That's the 10 of Cups. That's a lot of sadness. Well, because we can't believe that somebody would betray us. The President of the United States, the guy in the White House. I never called him president. But anyway, it's so tragic. I don't want to keep you too long, so let's see. I was talking about the Trump allies. It's almost like I feel like it's safe to say his name. Weird. Trump's allies at the election polls. Oh yeah, so Mary Trump was like, it's just unbelievable that we would allow somebody like that to run for president. And that's why I get so unnerved when they say it on the news, like, is he going to run? Is he going to run? That's like the question of the day all the time. I forget what Michael Cohen said about it. I think Michael Cohen said no. You know, his lawyer, his ex-lawyer that went to prison, that took one for the team. Oh, the guides just said Michael Cohen's got a lot more to say. The plot thickens. Sometimes I forget what the question was. Yeah, no, we're still talking about him. This is the devil, but the devil is forlorn. Pray tell, why art thou forlorn? This is him. The Queen of Wands. Somebody wants vengeance. You know, this rape case could sink him. Well, I think it's cumulative. I think a lot of things are going to sink him. Okay, let's take a look. I don't have this question written down, but let's take a look at our justice system. It's kind of a mess right now. You know, just to backtrack, I was talking about, you know, the horrible gun violence, and we really need to pray that we have gun laws someday. So I was thinking about that, and I was just wanting us to really come to a place where gun laws will be put into effect and the NRA will lose its power, because I know, you heard it here, this channel is for entertainment purposes only. They funded the Kyle Rittenhouse, not a trial. That was not a trial. They funded it. Not 100%. No, I don't feel like it was 100% the NRA, but indirectly the NRA did fund the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Entertainment purposes only. Only my psychic impression. Nobody can hold me to that. But speaking of March, I feel like in March the NRA is going to be disassembled. Disassembled. Let's see. Yeah, something's going to happen. Maybe the shooting in Michigan. Don't we say that with every single one? I'm telling you, people have the power. We need to use it. All right. Jeffrey Clark is being held in contempt of court. Let's look at what's going to happen with Bannon. Then we'll go to the racist traitor tots. I got to look up and see who said that. By the way, if you leave a comment, I see your comments. I don't want to play favorites and, you know, do thumbs up and all that. But I see your comments and I really appreciate them. But traitor tots took the cake. All right. Bannon and Stone and all that in the January 6th Commission. The Ace of Wands. That's great power in what the January 6th Commission is communicating. Their job is getting a little easier now. That's an interesting insight. Their job is getting a little easier, the January 6th Commission. They have what they need. I've been saying that all along. King of Wands, Joe Biden is, even though Joe Biden isn't saying anything to the news, Joe Biden is keeping his finger on the pulse of that January 6th Commission. It does have something, I am picking up, it has something to do with that he said no to the executive privilege. What a ridiculous idea that is. Now we will conclude for this newscast for today. The psychic newscast. We will conclude with what's going to happen with Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Gosar. Well, we already know he got censored, but a lot of good that did. I'm telling you, if every one of us put the pressure on, make those calls and put the pressure on, we're not going to stand for this in our government anymore. Do something. You know what gave me that idea too is Adam Kinzinger. I'm on his email list, and today Adam Kinzinger, who's on the January 6th Commission, who's actually a Republican, but not in the cult, obviously, he's hosting some kind of a Zoom meeting on December 16th, and I signed up for that we're going to talk about what's going on in this country. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly where the guides are pointing me, to tell you all we need to form a coalition. So if you want to know more information about that, well, you can go to Country First. Adam Kinzinger's organization is called Country First. Obviously, I'm a Democrat. Obviously. I live in Massachusetts. And very liberal place. I'll let you, if you go to Country First, I mean, he's really doing a good job. He really is doing a good job. He's just being a good human, and we need good humans. You know, there's so much going on, and, you know, like, Omar didn't do anything to deserve this kind of treatment. She's just Muslim. It's not a crime. It's not a crime to be a human. What's going to happen to those? What's going to happen to Marjorie and Lauren? This has to stop. Oh, they will be sorry. They will be sorry. They will be sorry. The Eight of Swords is, in the Rider-Waite tarot deck, this is a person that's wrapped up like a mummy and blindfolded, which is completely trapped. That's interesting because I was looking up binding spells today. Not that I, particularly always do spells or anything. But I know that, people of the pagan tradition do binding spells. So when I think about these really dangerous people in our government, I wrap them up in white light. White light can't hurt anybody, right? White light will just keep them from doing any more danger. I mean, the Rittenhouse thing, that acquittal, since that acquittal, just speaking of the danger of setting just a bad situation that's not called to task. A 15-year-old was shooting a gun at a mall and injured people just a few days ago. And now that school shooting in Michigan. If we don't hold these people to task, if we don't hold them accountable, then everyone else goes, yeah, we can do it too. We can do it too. We are a lawless society right now, and that's going to stop. So preachy today. Well, today I wondered if Joe Biden would actually talk to Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene. And don't be fooled, because I have a feeling that they're nervous and they're anxious. Like I said yesterday, they're threatened, they're intimidated by women that are intelligent. Well, maybe they should get an education. Maybe that would bode well for them. Maybe, it might help fix their ignorance, because they're just being completely ignorant. And, Lauren Boebert, when I watch her, she thinks she's on a reality show. I really get that vibe from her. She thinks she's on the Kardashians or something, and she does this. One more thing. For Lauren Boebert to be on the camera and stand up and say, I'm telling you, this really set me off. I'm a strong Christian woman. Strong Christian woman. Oh, Christ wanted us to go, threaten our brothers and sisters with violence? We got to do something, okay? We're all together here. The divine set it up so that there's all these beautiful psychics with beautiful psychic channels doing positive energy light work. We have to be spiritual troopers, light worker troopers, and we will. Don't worry, we will. We'll make it happen. I didn't even talk about the virus, but I did last night. If you want to know about, my thoughts on the virus, my psychic impressions, just look at last night. There's just really too much news. So I hope I was helpful in some way. I'll be back soon, and please have a wonderful night, and keep on top of what's going on. December is going to be an extremely busy month of news. Be ready. Brace yourself. New email address if you'd like to book an appointment for a reading. We're getting through the list, so it shouldn't take too terribly long. A couple months maybe. annettedionpsychic@gmail.com, and I'll post that too. annettedionpsychic@gmail.com if you'd like to book a reading. And I think that's all for now. There'll be more later. Namaste. Keep breathing deep, and we'll see you soon. They're dumping out bottles in the trash at the bar next door, so maybe go have a drink or some tea. Namaste.